So Sophie Cunningham, the Steph White black vans pulled up on her. The Steph White black vans pulled up on her right here. Sophie posted this. They went rogue, didn't follow the plan. Oops, worth it. We may have improvised. You followed the plan, right? And the whole team were laughing about it. Sophie Cunningham immediately. You guys read too much into things. That's the exact play our coach drew up and we executed it perfectly. I'm being very, very real. So your coach drew up a play that only works if Cody McMahon switches off and forgets that she's a basketball player. No, like they absolutely, the play was drawn up. If we can be very real, this is what the play was drawn up. This is what the play was drawn up. So we're gonna go and we're gonna rewatch it here. I'm gonna draw it up right here. So we always have our Paint Online, our trusty. Our good old trusted Paint Online app. This is what happened. So this was the play. Sideline there. Whatever. Sophie's there on the side. This is what the play was. Lexi. Kelsey. Aaliyah. Caitlin. Sophie, obviously. This is what the play was. Aaliyah screens there. While Caitlin screens back for Lexi to go across, and then Aaliyah turns and screens down for Caitlin to come up here. The first option is this. The second option is the switch. It is the switch. Like, I'm sorry, nobody drew up a floated, dangerous cross-court lob pass because all they had to do is switch that and it's Caitlin's gone. The play was for AB, and what AB did was AB decided that. So what happened is that during this whole play, they then get into a situation where Kelsey's just there. She's out of play. Kelsey goes out of the play. Lexi goes to the corner. Lexi's not an option on this play, by the way, unless somehow they both go to Caitlin and Lexi's standing under the basket. And what ended up happening is that Caitlin, because Citron and Cody McMahon both step to Lexi, Caitlin or Aaliyah is being guarded by Shakira Austin, and Caitlin's coming this way. So Caitlin's coming out to here. So what Aaliyah Boston does is Aaliyah Boston, instead of what she was supposed to have done and screen on Cody McMahon, realizes there's no way Cody runs this whole length and steals the ball. She then pins Shakira Austin, which is what you're supposed to do on a switch. If you're getting a shooter open on a switch, you're supposed to screen your player, and you know they're switching. You're screening your player, not their player, because their player is going to stand on you. You're screening on your player, because that's just the way the pick and roll offense works. Like, it's literally a case of the actual offense kind of went to shit because two of their players decided to run with Lexi Hull. And by the way, it was Sonia Citron's fault. They were clearly switching everything. Like, you could see, by the way, actually, sorry, no, it was Cody's fault. They weren't switching anything. What am I talking about? It was a miscommunication. It's nothing like majorly on Cody McMahon. And people were like, oh, Cody McMahon should have not went for steal. If she didn't go for the steal, she was fucked. She had to come around this way, because if she went this way, she runs into Caitlin Clark and fouls. She sprints out. No, Cody did the one thing she could do. Unfortunately, missed by a lot. Like, it was a play that they absolutely improvised. And I understand, like, we talk about going rogue. We talk about going rogue as in the team is like, oh yeah, like we're going against our coach. But like, I'm being honest, they went rogue in a way where it's like, okay, yeah, what we were doing wasn't going to work. Like, I'm sorry, the play that they ran was not going to work. And like, they did something, they adjusted on the fly and made a play that worked. This is what you'll say, like, this is one of those things that you would assume every coach is happy with. And people were saying, oh, does this mean they've lost the locker room? And I always said, there's no way that unless Stephanie White comes into the game and says, unless she goes into the locker room and is like, no, you didn't run my play. You didn't run my play. I don't care that what you did worked out, which I don't think is the case. But if that is the case, then yeah, maybe Steph's lost. Steph will lose the locker room. But Sophie being like, you guys read too much into things. The response is, okay, get mad at us because you confirmed something we already knew. Caitlin, the coach now. Lexi Hull on the radio after the game. Sophie. I don't even know who. Is that Christy Wallace? Is that Christy Wallace wearing a Lexi Hull jersey? Like, what are we doing? We have some mixture between Christy Wallace and Sammy Whitcomb wearing definitely some form of Australian player wearing a Lexi Hull jersey which has fever under the 10 and whatever logo this is. Lexi said the opposite on air. Good players include all five being an option. His job most according to XC was the best. Look, most teams will limit CC. At the end of the day, like, the job of an offense, the job of a coach is to get players open looks and good looks, and they got a good look off the play, even if it goes to shit. Even if it goes to shit, do some weird shit and blame everyone else. Like, Steph White black truck's the greatest shit ever. But that's what I mean, where it's like, there's no way like she wasn't being told. She wasn't told by the organization, I'd be shocked if she wasn't told by the organization being like, it's fine to joke about it, but like, you can't let these narratives run. But it's like every single thing, any sort of anything narrative about Stephanie White is stopped like in the quickest way possible. Like even Howard Megdal's article that refuses to go into any actual criticism about Stephanie White and basically just says talks about conspiracy theorists about Stephanie White losing her job, and it's like, no, like no one's actually talking about the fact that the Indiana Fever have the most talented offensive team. One of the most talented offensive teams in WNBA history, and they have a worse offense than the Atlanta Dream, who are a notoriously bad offensive team, who just run up and chuck threes. Same with they have the worst offensive rating than a team that starts Kia Stokes. Like, there is no excuse for this team to not just be a supercharged Minnesota Lynx because of the players they have. But, yeah, it is funny. It is really, really funny. Seeing this right here, like Sophie already coming out and trying to say, you guys read too much into things. This is exact play our coach drew up and executed perfectly. There is no fucking way they drew up a play where the main option is like this lob pass. Caitlin Clark, by the way, obviously if the pass is on you, go there. The reason why Caitlin Clark came off the screen in the way she did, the expectation is that they switch the screen and get Aaliyah open. And that's fine. That's fine. You're down one. Caitlin's not having the best shooting year. If you're gonna run Caitlin decoy to get Aaliyah open, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's just not. Like, I know people want to go mad being like, oh, you put the ball in the hands of your best player. There's 4 seconds to go. There is 4 seconds to go. Caitlin's just bricked 2 free throws. Do you want to put her on the line again? Like, I think she's confident, but as a coach, do you want to go and do that? I don't know. Especially if you are a coach that absolutely does not believe Caitlin is your fucking best player. Like, I'm being dead serious. If you hooks up Stephanie White to a lie detector and you ask her who the best player in the Indiana Fever is, I would be 90% sure the answer is not Caitlin Clark. And it's fine to have that opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion that this player is not the best. But, like, let's be very clear. A cross-court lob pass that needed to, or cross-court, like 40 foot, how wide is the basketball? Whatever, side-to-side pass into a 30-footer catch and shoot, which only was open because Cody McMahon threw herself out of the play, was not the fucking play. Like, it was not the option. Let's be very clear. That was not the option. We can be honest. It's not even let's knock Stephanie White. It's not even saying this means they've lost the locker room or anything. It was clearly not the option.